In last class, we learned up to scientific notation and precision and accuracy. Now we will move on to significant figures. The uncertainty in the experimental or the calculated values is indicated by mentioning the number of significant figures. There are some rules for determining the significant figures. They are, first rule is all non-zero digits are significant. For example, 285, that is 285. Here we can see three significant figures. Another example is 0.25. Here we can see only two significant figures. Second rule is 0 preceding to first non-zero digit are not significant. For example, 0.03. Here we can see only one significant figure. Another example is 0.0025. Here we can see two significant figure. The third rule is zeros between two non-zero digits are significant. For example, 2.005. Here we can see four significant figures. The fourth rule is zeros in the right of the decimal point is significant. For example, 0.200. Here we can see three significant figures. Whereas in 100, that is 100, there is only one significant figure. The fifth rule is counting numbers of objects. For example, 2 balls or 20 eggs have infinite significant figures, as they can be written as 20.0000, etc. Moving on to the calculations of significant figures, that is addition and subtraction. It is the normal addition and subtraction of decimal numbers, but the result cannot have more digits to the right of the decimal point than either of the original numbers. By doing one example, that is 16.25 plus 22.0 plus 2.062. Here the result is 40.312. Now considering the digit after decimal points, here the fewer number after the decimal is one digit. So the result will be 40.3. While in multiplication and division, the result must be reported with same number of significant figures as there are in the measurement with few significant figure. For example, 2.5 into 1.25. The answer is 3.125. Here the least significant figure have two significant figures, therefore the answer will be 3.1. Next example is 5.763 divided by 1.28. Here the answer is 4.5027. Considering the rule, it can be reported as 4.50. Now the rules for rounding of significant figures. The first rule is if the rightmost digit is greater than 5, then preceding number is increased by 1. For example, 1.537. Here 7 is greater than 5, hence 3 can be increased by 1, therefore the answer will be 1.54. Second rule is if last digit is less than 5, the preceding number is left unchanged. For example, 5.332. It can be written as 5.33. The third rule is if last digit is equal to 5, it is increased by 1 if the preceding digit is odd, and if even, the preceding digit is left unchanged. For example, 5.735. It can be written as 5.74. And 5.745. It can be written as 5.74. For mathematical calculations, sometimes we need to convert one system to another. This can be achieved by the method unit factor method or factor label method or dimensional analysis. For example, I got a piece of metal which measures 3 inches. Then I want to convert its measurement into centimeters. Let us look how we can convert. We know that 1 inches is equal to 2.54 centimeter. From this we can write 1 inch divided by 2.54 centimeter is equal to 1, that is equal to 2.54 centimeter divided by 1 inches. Here 1 inches divided by 2.54 centimeter is equal to 1 is a unit factor. Then by the calculation we can obtain that is 7.62 centimeters. Next is laws of chemical combinations. The combination of elements to form compounds is governed by 5 basic laws. First one is law of conservation of mass. This law was put forward by Lavoisier in 1789. This law states that matter can neither be created nor destroyed. Taking an example, take some ice cubes in a dish and weight. Let it be 100 gram. Then heat it. Then it will be converted to water. Then again weigh it. The weight of the liquid and ice will be equal or same. From this example, we can say that if a substance undergoes a physical change, the total mass of a reactant is equal to the total mass of the product. And if we take an example of a chemical change, take some calcium chloride in a test tube and sodium sulfate solution. Weigh them and mix it up. We can see a white precipitate of calcium sulfate along with the solution of sodium chloride. Weigh them again. Now we can see that the mass of the reactant and the products are same. Hence we can say that the matter is neither created nor destroyed. This law is also called law of indestructibility of matter. Next law is law of definite proportion. This law was put forward by Joseph Proust in 1799. He stated that a given compound always contains exactly the same proportion of elements by weight. Example, the water we get from any source such as river, lake, sea, etc. contains hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio 4:32. That is 1:8 by mass. Thus, we can say that a pure compound always contains exactly the same elements in the same proportion by mass. The third law is law of multiple proportion. This law was by John Dalton in 1803. It states that if two elements can combine to form more than one compound, the masses of one element that combine with a fixed mass of the other element are in the ratio of small whole numbers. For example, carbon and oxygen combine to form carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. Here in the formation of carbon dioxide, the mass of the oxygen is 32 gram. And in the case of carbon monoxide, the mass of the oxygen is 16. Here the masses of oxygen bears a symbol ratio of 32:16 or 2:1. The fourth law is Gay-Lussac's law of gaseous volumes. This law was by Gay-Lussac in 1808. This describes the relationship between volume of gaseous reactants and products. This law states that When gases combines or are in chemical reaction, they do so in a simple ratio by volume provided all gases are at same temperature and pressure. For example, hydrogen and oxygen combine to form water molecule. That is 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O. It is in the ratio 2 is to 1 is to 2. The ratio of the reaction is 2 is to 1. It's a simple ratio. Next is Avogadro's law. This is stated by Avogadro in 1811. He stated that equal volumes of gases at same temperature and pressure should contain equal number of molecules. He made a distinction between atoms and molecules. 2 volume of hydrogen reacts with 1 volume of oxygen to form 2 volume of water vapor without leaving any unreacted oxygen. This is the example for Avogadro law. Next is Dalton's atomic theory. Dalton in 1808 proposed the theory to describe the nature of the matter. It stated that matter consists of indivisible atoms. Postulate second is all the atoms of a given element have identical properties including identical mass. That is, atoms of different element differ in mass. Third one is compounds are formed when atoms of different elements combine in a fixed ratio. The fourth postulate is chemical reactions involves reorganization of atoms. That is law of conservation of energy. Matter is neither created nor destroyed. Next, we will move on to atomic and molecular mass. First one is atomic mass. That is, we learned about the laws of on chemical combinations and an important theory to understand the particles of a matter, that is atoms and molecules. Now we have to learn more about atomic mass and molecular mass. The atomic mass or the mass of an atom is actually very small because atoms are extremely small. So, in the early periods, it was difficult to count the exact number of atoms. On the basis of Gay-Lussac's findings, Dalton assigned the weight of hydrogen as 1. He used hydrogen as the standard for determining the masses of other element. That is, earlier time, the atomic mass of the element is assigned masses relative to it. In 1961, the scientists agreed to use the carbon-12 as a standard base due to the abundance of carbon-12. Hence, at present system, carbon-12 is assigned a mass of exactly 12 atomic mass unit, that is 12 AMU, and masses of all other atoms are given relative to this standard. That is, one atomic mass unit is defined as a mass exactly equal to 1/12 the mass of one carbon-12 atom. That is, 1 AMU is equal to 1.66056 into 10 raised to minus 24 gram. Now let us find the mass of an hydrogen atom. We know that 1 AMU is equal to 1.66056 into 10 raised to minus 24 gram. Mass of an atom of hydrogen is equal to 1.6736 into 10 raised to minus 24 gram. Thus, in terms of AMU, the mass of hydrogen atom is equal to 1.6736 into 10 raised to minus 24 divided by 1.66056 into 10 raised to minus 24. That is equal to 1.0078 AMU. Many naturally occurring elements exist as more than one isotope. For those compounds having more than one isotope, the average atomic mass of that element is calculated. We know that carbon has 3 isotopes, that are carbon 12, carbon 13 and carbon 14. The relative abundance in percentage is 98.892, 1.108 and 2 into 10 raised to minus 10 respectively. And atomic mass unit are 12 for carbon 12, 13.0033 for carbon 13 and 14.00317 for carbon 14. From this data, we can calculate the average atomic mass and the answer will be 12.011 unit. Similarly, we can find the average atomic masses of other elements having isotopes. In periodic table, the atomic masses represented are their average atomic mass. Next is molecular mass. Like atoms, molecules are also very small. So the mass of molecule cannot be weighed. Simply, the molecular mass is the sum of atomic masses of the elements present in a molecule. For example, molecular mass of CH4. By calculation, that is 12.011 atomic mass unit plus 4 into 1.008 atomic mass unit gives 12 plus 4, that is equal to 16.043 atomic mass unit. Next example is for water molecule, that gives 18.02 atomic mass unit. Note that the molecular mass is expressed in grams, then molecular mass is known as gram molecular mass. That is 1 gram molecule of water molecule is equal to 18 gram. Next is formula mass. Now look at this, some ionic compounds such as sodium chloride. They do not contain discrete molecules as their constituent units. In such compounds, positive and negative ions are closely packed in three-dimensional structure. For example, in sodium chloride NaCl crystal, an ionic bond is formed between sodium and chlorine ion. However, in its crystalline form, each sodium ion is surrounded by 6 chlorine ion. So we have to calculate the formula mass instead of molecular mass. Formula mass is the sum of atomic masses of atoms present in one formula unit. Thus, formula mass of sodium chloride is equal to atomic mass of sodium plus atomic mass of chlorine, that is equal to 58.5 atomic mass unit. As I told earlier, when it is expressed in grams, it is known as gram molecular mass. Hence, gram formula mass of sodium chloride is equal to 58.5 gram.